the station and the Fox Chase line that runs through the borough. These were also considered potential possibilities for open space. And as you can see, it's a rather long corridor through the borough, so that's something that could possibly be a greenway, and maybe some investigation of reusing the old station area for recreation. With Newtown Artesian, there's a recommendation that the borough investigate perhaps some kind of an easement so that we can provide an off-street pathway between North Lincoln Avenue and the Goodnoe School, so North Elm Street, for kids and other residents so that they wouldn't be on the street going to those areas. Following that, we have sort of another level, which is this area here, two areas here along the borough's border with the township. These are considered sort of the lower priority because they're not in the borough, but they are adjacent. And they were really reviewed because, again, they are near the creek. They provide some open space opportunities that, if preserved or protected, could enhance the quality of life here in the borough. So again, here's the basic recommendations that I just reviewed. It talks about facilitating preservation of those 4 major properties along the creek. Looking at perhaps negotiating or renegotiating with SEPTA to lease the rail station parking lot, and looking at the right-of-way for walking and biking. Another recommendation is, again, investigate that possibility of the easement through the Artesian Water Company to create a nice off-street walking path. And additionally, working with the township and private owners to encourage preservation of open space related to what was the Homeowner Association of Cliveden, which was that property on the northwestern area, and this is up near Sycamore and Frost. And then also maybe perhaps looking at working jointly with the township to encourage preservation of the Newtown Creek properties that are adjacent to the borough, close to the Newtown Commons area. Finally, there's a recommendation to also keep in mind that there are other underdeveloped lands in the borough, and those perhaps that are affiliated with historic properties that we should always consider in terms of open space preservation. We don't want to lose the integrity of some of those properties. So this is another recommendation of the plan. So as Ms. Wardrobe explained, what we're going to do now is we're going to submit the draft for review by the Bucks County Open Space Review Board with your approval. They will review it, and the plan will then be finalized based on the public and county input. And then finally, after that, the county endorses the plan. The open space plan must be adopted by municipal resolution. So that's kind of where we are in the process. I think that's all I have. Finally, I just want to again acknowledge the Final Advisory Council. King is here, and Julia for out. So it's very ease of the plan here tonight, and it's also posted on the borough's website for those of you who haven't had a chance to take a look at it.
Okay, thanks. Henry, do you want to come up if you have a question?
I have just one copy of this, but this is a document actually from the Public Health Law and Policy from the California state government, and it's titled Establishing Land Use Protection for Community Gardens. And in some cities in California, they have boosted the open space by actually zoning some of the community gardens under an open space zoning district. So one would have to take a look at this document. I have one copy, and perhaps I'll hand it over to Marcia, if you don't mind handing it over to Marcia, and she can distribute it, or I can. I have actually emailed our members of the EAC with that document, and it enhances, it provides some guidelines as to how this could be created with a combination of zoning through commercial as well as through residential and business properties with the agreement of the owners of such properties, as well as public land use. So it's a way of boosting the beauty of the borough, and as well as getting some extra use out of the land. And some of it, if the zoning permits could be designated as open space in coordination with the agreement of the owners. So there are cities all over the country that have adopted such zoning. The city of Chicago, the city of Philadelphia has introduced urban farming in a lot of vacant lots, and we don't have many vacant lots, I'm sure, but they're trying to use whatever is accessible and whatever is available and get it under use. And they can be used for flower gardens, for edible gardens, and in fact, some of the schools in Philadelphia are using these vacant lots to enhance the school lunch programs, I understand. So, thank you for this opportunity.
Any other questions? I did speak to Chris Kern at the county regarding the timeline here that we need to follow, because there is an opportunity for the borough to apply to use $10,000 of that $234,000 to reimburse the borough for the costs of updating our open space plan. But in order for us to do that, we need to have had our plan reviewed before the end of the year. And as the end of the year approaches, the number of meetings of the group that has to review it diminish. So the appropriate activity at this time would be for Borough Council to move to send the draft to Bucks County Open Space Committee for the review of the draft, and if we get it in now, that the process will be in motion early enough for us to be able to take advantage of that opportunity to use the $10,000 should we decide. And my understanding is that the borough probably will decide in that to do that. So if I have that correct, I believe that the plan is currently ready to go with that I think there's some addenda that needed to be added regarding our current open space and its maintenance.
Correct.
And that together would get sent on if Borough Council is ready to do that.
Right.
And that once they have looked at the draft and made their recommendations, it comes back to us for adoption. But the fact that they've seen a draft before the end of the year will allow us, they're fairly, not flexible, but they're understanding, I guess I should put it that way.
That's my understanding, yeah.
Yeah, they're understanding. Well, and as it was said back to me, is that they've become aware of how slowly government works. So, so if there are no more questions, can I have a motion from council to send the draft or the appropriate addenda on to the Bucks County Open Space Committee for their review?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, a motion, and I got a second from Perry over here to do so. And is there any further discussion? Any comment from the audience, from the public regarding this motion? Okay. If not, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So that we'll be working with you and with Bob to get everything together and get it on as quickly as we can for I believe they have one more meeting this year to look at this.
There's one at the end of this month and then December. So.
And then one in December, yeah, okay. And I also want to thank Bob King for taking charge of this activity for the borough and heading the subcommittee of the EAC for the open space plan revision. Okay.